Hi, my friend, it's Pat Sloan here. On the calendar today, it is a UFO challenge. I have several of them for the month. So first of all, this one could take you a while or not, depending on how you want to do it, but it's to count your UFOs. Now, some of you have a running count. Some of you have probably never counted your UFOs. So here is the deal. What I recommend is you decide some maybe subcategory of UFOs to count. So maybe you have tops. You want to see like how many tops do I have? Maybe you have projects in progress. How many of those do you have? You could have a bunch of things that are sort of collected up. You might consider those, like they're going to be future projects. Maybe you just want to know how many of those you have. You might just want to deal with maybe your non-quilting projects. Do you have some cross-stitch UFOs? Do you have some knitting, some crochet, paper products? I know, it's a hard one. Maybe just start your list. I used to have a really good running list at one point, but then I decided not to finish some and gave some away, and I currently don't have a good running list. So that, the one thing I'm curious about is how many do I have in progress? I might just do a cursory check and report in on that, because I don't think I have that many, like I said before, but I'm sure it's probably way more than I think there is. I wish I'd kept that list up because it was really great to have. Okay, so that's your challenge. But the other thing I have today is a super fun find, because Ellen Tureen sent me her hanger that she developed for keeping your bedding on or quilts on. This is a super great tool. It comes with a little instruction sheet. It shows Ellen there putting up the hanger. And I have gone ahead and put mine up in my kitchen on the pantry door. So take a look at this. Ellen sent me her hanger for bedding, which she thinks was also perfect for quilting, and I totally agree. I put it here in my kitchen. We're in my hallway. There's my dining room with all the quilt storage. My studio is right behind me. So this door is the pantry door. So it has two the clamps like I showed you that go just over the door, and she has some pads that you can put under there so it doesn't scratch the surface. This piece comes off. So here it does. Comes off like this, and then you can put it back on to hang the quilt. But I thought this would be great, since my kitchen is right off of my studio space, that if I'm ironing like a long piece of fabric, I don't want it to get messed up, I'm going to hang it up here to keep it nice and straight and smooth as I'm working. It is so easy to just put up there. Now, I didn't put the little pad on it yet, so here is the pad. You peel and stick so that you can put it on those hooks so they don't damage your door or your painted surface, because they could shift a little bit and maybe make a little scratch, but you just put that pad on there and be totally fine. I'm thinking that this would be a great one for me to just have and put up every so often when I'm needing it. But I'd also like to have one in my bedroom, because on the back of my bedroom door I would like to put an extra quilt to hang on there for when it's really cold and I don't want to have to go rummage around to find it. I have one little bench in my room, but I don't have a chair or anything like that in the bedroom. My house is pretty small, so the rooms are pretty small. There's just really no space. Well, there is space, but we don't want it in there. So we just have a little bench to sit on, and so I can't put a quilt on that. So storage one would be nice over the hanger, so if I just get chilly at night and want to go get that, I don't have to go hunt up another quilt somewhere. But I think that that's a really cool item, and it's very reasonably priced. So the links are down below in the description box, and while you're there, click subscribe, and then we can be friends. The subscribe helps me out and it helps you, so that you can always find my videos and when the new ones come up. All right, what else is going on? All right, so I had to learn some patience. If you know me well, my local friends know me very well. I'm not a very patient person. I may appear to be patient, but I am not a patient person. And recently, one of the quilts I'm making for my book, I just could not make a block without having turned something. I just guess was not in the right mindset to be sewing it for 2 days. Not 1 day, but 2 days. For 2 full days, I would go to do the block, put it up on the wall, and see that I turned something wrong. You know, I did it in 2 blocks, and then I fixed them and accidentally got a piece from either one in the wrong side. So, had to take it apart, fix it again. So I had to learn a lot of patience. If you have been hanging around with me, you will know who Jack is. If you are new, we reference having a date with Jack, and Jack is our seam ripper. So if you will hear somebody saying, I had to date Jack for tonight, this is Jack. Jack gets around. He has a lot of girlfriends. So that's who I was dating for 2 full days. He is definitely ready to visit somebody else. I do not have any to be hanging around with Jack anymore. So I got the quilt that I showed you up there. I thought I would hold it all the way up for you. It is one of my older quilts from an older book. I'm thinking, I've been collecting, looking at quilts to send to some of my niece's little boys, and I think this might be one of them. So it is from my novelty print book. So the whole deal in the book was to use fabrics that are considered novelty prints. So like this is that great sailboat, but there's also other fabric. There's nautical fabric in the chevron and beachy fabric in the middle, and this is like patriotic fabric in the red. So all of these are pretty much, everything is sort of a novelty print. I did a star fabric to separate it, but this is a great way to show those prints off and still have like a really nice size quilt. Let me show you the backing. Ta-da! So there I've used up a bunch. I guess I had gotten a bundle of these fabrics that went with the sailboat. And so there is the rest of them on the back, which is a fun way to have used them up. And there is super cute sailboats. Let me get a good one here to show you. Super cute sailboats quilted on it. Isn't that darling? I don't know if this was done by Cindy or so. Yeah, this was done by Cindy and Dennis, my favorite spa people. They're also the ones that help with my Quilt Along with Pat Sloan website. So those of you who are over there know Cindy and Dennis. You see them all the time in there. Alrighty, I have, sometimes I wonder, how can I talk about quilting every single day to come on here and chat? It's like a lot. I always manage. There's always something to talk about. So this is the beginning of the month, which means I will switch over to the next part of my project, my cross stitch project. This is the one that's monthly. Let me open it all up. Here we go. So this is the monthly one. It's turning out so cute. I'm keeping up pretty good. I got not all of the stardust done. I call it a stardust along the top of the lighthouse, but I just have a little bit of stuff. I need to get the change the thread, and I can finish those up first, but I did get the frame around for the next part. And the next part is this is called Monthly Markings by Heart and Hand is the pattern. And so here is the September, which is the darling little house and the tree. Now I'm using the color conversion from the Fat Quarter Shop. So they sent you a whole booklet. Oops, let me show you. So they sent you a whole booklet which and the photos converting the colors. I mean, they do such a fabulous job when they do this. So I have a little bit lighter colors for the house, which I like. And I have to be sure I'm working on that. Now, Cross Stitch University, for those of you who are going to be stitching along and learning and maybe getting back into cross stitch, each lesson that Kimberly does, some of them might be short, some of them might be a little bit longer. And so the first one was quite short because it was talking just about how to read the pattern and what the different parts of a pattern are. And I learned a few things, which was, I think, well worth the few minutes the video is to just say, oh, okay, that's, I learned how to convert the size of your finished piece depending on what cloth you're using, which I think is critical because not everybody, oftentimes I look at a design and it's done on a cloth with very small holes, like 26 count or whatever the count. I don't know the count that counts, but like 26 count. And I really like this 14, or, you know, which means that the pieces will be bigger if I do them that way. I started out on the 10 count, I think it is. Was that right? Or 12, whatever. I started out on like the biggest holes that they make, and I don't want to work on those anymore. I can see that that was good to learn on for me, but they're not, you know, they're really quite large. I like the 14 now. So that's my personal go-to. I also did a few scrap blocks over here, which I got done while I was sewing other things, and I put the border onto the I'll just stand up. So I put the border on my summer soiree, the green. So I got the green on there. Ta-da! I don't know if I'll eventually remake it in the orange and blue just to see what it looks like. Probably not, because I just have to keep moving on projects. I don't really have time to, you know, not to do other things like that. I gotta keep moving. And I also worked on the Christmas Oh My Stars. So that panel is the top right, the one here. So it is all sewn and ready to go. And I have the other pieces ready to sew in strips. And then I have one on the table, if I move this way. Yeah, one on the table that is the next one I'm working on. So I've got to kind of stage so I can get to it. And yesterday we did a rehearsal for the Virginia Quilt Museum 25th anniversary event. So there were 4 of us who are the main speakers and organizers, or 5 main speakers, organizers, behind the scenes people. And we sort of did a, you know, walk through logistics of it, did a little test of bringing in videos and things. Got to talk to Jeff Evans, who is our speaker for the second half of the show. So the links are down below for you to go sign up. This is a free virtual event and it is free. The museum wants to celebrate. They want to get you to know us, the museum. Remember, I'm the unofficial spokesperson, but I am also the host of the event. I'm just so honored that they asked me to host the event for them. So I hope you come. I hope you put it on your list. You'll get reminders from the system, Everbright, once you enroll, and it's free to enroll. You don't have to put a credit card or anything. It's a totally free event. So that is kind of what I've been up to in the last 24 hours since we talked last. Okay, my friend. I love you. Mwah. See you online.